it really did help Teixeira because he was kind of struggling there in the beginning. His average wasn't going.
Especially after the All-Star break.
Oh, especially if you have that, that help behind you in the lineup, that protection, just like as in St. Louis, Pujols showed with Matt Holliday. Matt Holliday, I think it might have benefited Matt Holliday a little more than Albert Pujols tearing it up, batting over 400, I believe, still with
St. Louis.
St. Louis, so
a big difference from Oakland.
I'd say so.
Yeah. And I believe Teixeira, the only player that's hit more home runs the past 3 years after the All-Star break, has been Albert Pujols. So he's in good company, I'd say.
Two of the greatest sluggers of the past couple of years.
Yeah. Now we're going to throw it over to a commentary from our own YSA's Andrew Ramsey. Andrew?
For most fans of the National Football League, the signing of Michael Vick came as no surprise, until we all found out it was the Philadelphia Eagles. At first, it made no sense to anyone. The Eagles? They already have Donovan McNabb. What would they need with another quarterback? Then, when we all looked a little deeper into the situation, it makes perfect football sense. Michael Vick has never been a great passing quarterback, but he has always been an athlete with tremendous speed, which is why the Eagles should and will run a version of Miami's Wildcat offense tailor-made to suit Mike Vick, where he will likely see time as a halfback or wide receiver and not under center as a quarterback. Think about it. Michael Vick and Donovan McNabb in the same backfield, let alone on the same team, on the same field, at the same time. Opposing defensive coordinators are quaking in their proverbial boots over this nightmarish scenario where they have to spend a good portion of their weekly game preparation on a guy who may not even see game action. Also, there may be a side to this story that nobody has ever thought of nor wanted to think of. Donovan McNabb has not been 100% in quite a while and has not played in all 16 games of the regular season 4 of the last 5 years. Some sources say that McNabb only has about 2 years left in the tank, so Vick will see increased reps at quarterback in the near future as McNabb's longevity is tanking and Vick's is only going up. And I'll tell you why. The prison time he served prevented him from the wear and tear that occurs during an NFL season, plus he had many opportunities to throw a football and work out during his sentence. I wouldn't go as far to say that number 7 will be as good early this season as his Madden 04 counterpart, but he certainly adds a potent weapon to the now faster-paced offense in Philly with McNabb and wide receivers Deshaun Jackson and Jeremy Maclin, as well as running back Brian Westbrook. I thought they were before the signing, but now with Michael Vick, I think the Eagles are a lock for at least a run at this year's Lombardi Trophy. I'm Andrew Ramsey for YSA Sports.
We have a new member here, Alex.
Yeah.
And I'm still Alec, not to be confused. And
Chris, by the way.
Chris, I was getting to you.
Yeah.
He's from Peabody, Little League World Series. He knows some people.
Gotta represent.
But we're not talking about that now. Right now we're talking about football. Michael Vick signing the Eagles. Great addition. A lot of people saying great addition. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. They had mixed feelings really at the beginning. A lot of people, a lot of the football, even like the players, and they were like. They thought it was a great pickup. They're like, yes, this could propel us to the Super Bowl, as Andrew mentioned in his commentary. But a lot of the fans, a lot of the fans were worried about it. What is this going to give us a bad image? What's going to happen with the team? But yeah, I mean, this definitely helps them. They have so many more weapons, and this just adds to their playbook what they could do with their offense.
Who really cares? Just let him play. I mean, he said he did his jail time. I mean, he's learned from a lesson.
He's found Jesus.
He's found Jesus. He found Dog God or whatever he
Dog God? I think that's a different religion, but continue.
All right, so he's been doing work for animal shelters. He's still trying to figure out more work and volunteer work he can do. I mean, just let him play. Stop bothering him about it. I mean, he says he's going to return, but if he starts getting into other animal problems, then I think they should just throw him out. But otherwise, I think it was a great deal for the Eagles because he's so versatile in many positions. I mean, you could throw him on wide receiver, safety. Maybe he can even kick like Chad Ochocinco.
We got a big Chad Ochocinco fan here. I don't know why, but
Bengals.
It's 8-5, not 85 Ochocinco. But Michael Vick actually he can't work for animal shelters. Part of his plea bargain was he can't be near animals. Actually,
He can't.
no.
I was gonna say even he's having trouble. That's the thing. As I think you mentioned a little bit. Yeah, he's trying to work up with his public image, saying so if I'm saying the right things.
Yeah,
he
is sounded pretty good.
Exactly. The sponsors are kind of slow to get to him, and
that
could be the worry as the Eagles owner mentioned if he doesn't see sponsorship or anything, if he doesn't see Vic doing good work in the community, he said he will release him. And as much as it's not Vic's fault, what he did was his fault, but the sponsor's not coming to him. You can't really do anything about that, and that could have hurt up in the end.
And I'm going to go a little bit to Michael Vick's defense, right? He's dealing with the craziest people probably in the world from PETA. They're taking attention. Look at people like Dante Stallworth. He killed a guy. I think that's a lot worse, personally. But everyone's going, Michael Vick, because that's what these people, they deal with. PETA. They're crazy, pretty much.
Wait, he deals with bread?
PETA.
PETA bread.
People for the ethical treatment of animals.
We're talking about the animal, not the food.
And that's PETA bread, by the way.
Yes, that's with an I, not an E. But
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's okay.
It's a common mistake.
Okay.
Well, what if he wears like something with fur on it? They might start dumping blood on him.
I don't know if you can wear that for football. I mean, that'd be kind of tough.
Is he wearing a fur coat over his pants?
It'd kind of be like Troy Polamalu. I mean, they'd have an easier thing to grab onto and just pull him down. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
You see him walk on the field with a fur coat, just be like,
I'd be worried about that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd get in trouble for that, even if he didn't have the whole animal. Yeah. I think he'd get in trouble for that. Anyone would get in trouble for that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move on.
I'm glad
Who's hosting here, Alex?
I'm taking control.
Alec is, I think, the host, not Alex.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, okay. But honestly, who saw this coming, signing with the Eagles? I personally thought Jacksonville was a great fit for him. With Byron Leftwich and David Garrard, I think Michael Vick would have fit right in that line of quarterbacks. But the Eagles came out of nowhere. That surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, true. And I mean, it just shows how unpredictable sports and football can really be.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, not taking away from Philadelphia, nobody expected them to go there. Not saying that they're a strong organization, because that's what people wanted. That's what people thought where he was going. And even, I think it might have been, I was a little bit surprised. People were saying, at least to me, it was kind of a surprise. Everybody was saying, you kind of heard New England a lot.
Yeah.
Not saying, I wouldn't welcome him. It might be add a little, exactly like it's doing in Philly. It might add a new touch.
Yeah, but still,
but how would it work out?
Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Exactly.
Anytime you take the ball out of his hand, it's not a good thing.
Personally, I don't know where you're going to fit him in, because wide receiver, to me, that's kind of full. And you just picked up Fred Taylor. You have Lawrence Maroney.
Let's hope he does better than Lawrence Maroney.
As good as an athlete as Mike Vick is, they would find a spot for him. But it seems, with all the other players, where would you find time for everybody else?
Just take him away from the other teams and just not let him have.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not as surprised he went to the Eagles, because the Eagles have an aging quarterback, Donovan McNabb. You've seen him get plagued by injuries the past few years. Mm-hmm. And there was this quarterback that's always in great physical shape right there, and he's cheap because he's just trying to get back in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think it was a great deal and great move by the Eagles, and I'm not that surprised. I was more surprised by the Vikings and how they didn't go for Michael Vick as much, because that's the one thing they really needed was a good quarterback, a good, strong quarterback, and I think the kind of person they would need would be Michael Vick, because they're more of a running offense, and Michael Vick doesn't even throw that much.
Yeah, I just think their only doubt there is with everybody. People don't know if Michael Vick can be a full-time quarterback right now. I don't know if he can jump in. And I don't think I don't think he can.
He can't jump in to be a full-time because he has to wait the first 6 games to play.
He might. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody keeps forgetting. He could play, but Roger Goodell hasn't ruled out a suspension.
Yeah, exactly.
He said he would rule, after week 6.
He can play the next 2 preseason games, but he can't play the regular season until the.
And even that, there was, he's supposed to play in it now, the next preseason game for the Eagles. But there was even rumors. Andy Reid said before he might hold them back. Yeah. So what's the point of? To me, at least, what's the point of adding Michael Vick and not playing him in any preseason games or one? What's that going to show you? Yes, it could show you a little bit, but a guy that's been out of the league for 2+ years, what's that going to show you?
And in jail, but that didn't really help. And what Alex said was a great segue. We're gonna stick with the Vikings and Brett Favre, his first preseason game. Tavares Jackson showed him up. He threw for almost 202 yards and 2 touchdowns, I believe. Brett Favre was 1 for 4 for 6 yards.
I know. Could we see the release of Brett Favre here?
Yeah.
I mean,
just let him retire.
But yeah, it's a preseason game. I mean, Brett Favre's numbers weren't pretty at all. But
I really don't agree. I'm not saying because Brett Favre stay retired, but Dan Childress, the coach, just completely said, "I have absolutely no faith in my quarterbacks." So what happens next